Okay. So that's, it turns from there to there. That's the extent of its radius. And it doesn't look like I can tilt it up or down. Is there any way to lower this thing down? Ah. Okay, I guess I did that. What's next?
You're gonna have to get through the wall of this stone.
Okay. I guess I didn't do enough. Well, I'm guessing this laser thing here will... blast through some of these collapsed places. Now that one had a swap thing in its place. I don't think I can do anything there. Sweet! I don't remember where all the blocked off ones were, so we're just going to go drive around. Oh. Okay, I guess that's what turning off that one thing does. So I passed through there. Where am I at now? Oh! I'm clear on the opposite side of the sphere. I'm above the waterfall. Well, that's kind of cool. Now where am I? Okay, I remember this place, but I don't remember where it was. Oh, this is above the hill from where I first came in. Okay, so that's another thing I need to blast open. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I don't want to go that way. Can I shoot this door and get it open? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay. Nope, it won't let me. I didn't think it would. Oh, I bet if I can get this thing turned around, then I can shoot that one down there and get inside there. Okay, so it looks like this is a dead end until I can get that door open. Unless there was something over here I could look at. Okay, there's where I go back through. I'm gonna go walk over there real quick. Oh! I can't get through there? Ooh. Oh wait, this was by the cemetery. So if I go over a little bit. No, it popped me in the opposite direction. So I'll go that way a little bit. Can I get around over here? No? Oops. There I go trying to jump again. No, I wasn't able to make it through there, was I? Ooh, I can start to see it. This is the opposite direction. So, while I'm here, uh, 6341 should be the code for the other side. Gotta go all the way back around there, don't I? I got power down there. So if I can figure out how to get in there, I can activate it. Oh, don't tell me I had to come all the way around here to put the code in. And then that unlocks the front door. Oh, no, there we go. Okay. I was looking at the wrong thing. Welcome. Okay, we have a map. Entry canyon. Sorry. Bleeder. That looks like there's something that goes off inside the wall here. Well, actually, can I get rid of those junk photos I accidentally took? Delete. Yeah, didn't need that one. Nope. So I got, I don't really need that one either. Probably don't need this one. But I definitely want to keep all the others. And then we're going to take a picture of this one too. $15. Okay. Okay. I shall document the curious events that have transpired with myself, my family, friends, and co-workers. Hartnell was a peaceful mining town founded by my grandfather and nestled within the red rock of the desert in the Arizona Territory. Its 163 inhabitants heard a mighty explosion on the night of June 27th, 1903. I sent several workers through the town to verify that the explosion had not caused any injuries or damage to mining equipment. They returned and reported that it must have been a loud clap of thunder caused by dry lightning, for they found no damage. It was not until the light of the next morning that we were amazed to realize something profound had indeed occurred. At some point during that night, our entire mining facility and a large circle of the land around it seemed to have been scooped up and carried off to a completely different place, all without anyone knowing about it. Okay. Sounds like a familiar story. The entire landscape outside of our circle of desert could only be described as alien. Large floating rocks could be seen in the distance. No one had ever seen anything like it anywhere on Earth. We fully explored our new surroundings, hoping to find a way home. No way home was ever found. In fact, we soon discovered what we take for granted now. Not only could we not get back home, we also could not access the landscape outside the desert. Curiously, we discovered that a flow of water was provided from a high point of rock, and we discovered a small tree growing in the very center of the circle. Our central tree that is so important to our lives here was just a mere sapling back then. Oh. Okay. Special description. Communication. Talking with neighbors. Oh, I got a lot of reading to go here. Those are just story. Yawn. What time is it? Oh, it's only 10 o'clock. Species description. Mofang. Through ambassador seeds, the Mofang were the first non-human species humans were introduced to. An Liang was the first to call the alien a Mofang. Impressed with their advanced ability to imitate our sounds, movements, and mannerisms, although they have a name for themselves, their language is mostly unpronounceable by humans. As a result, and because of their mimicry abilities, communication with the Mofang is primarily accomplished by their learning human languages rather than humans learning to speak Mofang. They have been able to learn almost every human language represented in Hunrath, enough to provide functional, if rudimentary, communication. Mofang basic external morphology is remarkably humanoid, bilateral symmetrical tetrapods, bipedal head with anterior facial features, mouth, eyes, nostrils. Other external features include minimal body hair and raised dorsal protrusions. Constitution is somewhat frail, due apparently to their thin and lightweight internal structure, but internal investigation has not been possible. They have ample cranial space to account for a substantial brain, and their intelligence is impressive as evidenced by their advanced technology. Okay. Awry. After a certain level of maturity and health of the tree, a passage opened at its base. This passage allowed contact with two additional species. The first contact was with the Awry. First contact revealed the Awry to be a large beetle-like insects. We were unable to communicate directly with them in any way, but they appeared to have some rudimentary level of intelligence. It was Lorenk Toth who first made the journey through the heart to Kaptar and named both the New World and the inhabitants. The Uri have 3 distinct variants that have come to be referred to as Barnacle, Beetle, and Polyarch. Okay, although their morphology is dramatically different from human, their internal systems, like all of our neighbors, are supported by similar atmospheric composition and basic nutrients. In their barnacle stage, the Uri are completely immobile. The Uri stay in this egg-like development state seemingly indefinitely. In order to hatch, they must be in proximity of a polyarch and fertilized by the beetles after a certain stage of maturity. The beetles are the eyes and ears, hands, and feet. With only minimal nervous system of their own, they are essentially the sensory extensions of the immobile polyarchs. They are able to execute simple commands, but apparently have very little in the way of individual sentience. Aha. Alright, polyarchs are the intelligence and consciousness of the species. Although it was obvious that there was intelligence behind the species, it wasn't until Caroline Farley began spending large amounts of time in close proximity that deeper communication began. With a room nearby, Farley was the first to communicate non-verbally and learn much about the species, including some historical information. The Uri species survived in their world, while several other sentient species came and went, among them an ancient species who formed a deeper relationship with the Uri, carving temples and dwellings for them in the rock. And later a more recent species that took over much of their homeworld. Excuse me. This later species was especially adept at mechanical construction, using it mostly to capture and process large flying creatures, using the beetles as bait. Okay. Villain. The final species to be discovered were the Villain. The Villain had been communicating with the Uri for many years through ambassador seeds, but became part of the larger community very shortly after the Uri. With a large and imposing frame and a form of communication based on a complex multi-voiced low-frequency rumble, the initial introductions were intimidating. After several attempts, Emile Vidal was able to begin some rudimentary communication and began visiting the Villain in Murray, which she named, on a regular basis. She discovered a complex and amazing society that was able to use their technology in unexpected ways. They had the ability to quickly transform their world using extruded structures based on some form of complex miniature substrate material. Unlike the other worlds, the Villain sphere is scooped out of a Villain resettlement group that was preparing to set off into space to find a new homeworld. This was their way of life, to put themselves into stasis and scatter themselves through the stars. As mentioned previously, their appearance is imposing, standing about 9 feet tall, with a distinct reptilian resemblance. They have 6 limbs, 2 muscular legs and arms, and a smaller set of arms. They control every aspect of their technology with their vocalizations, but over the years they have created control panels based on their number system that allow other species to easier access elements of their technology. Okay, that's that for that notebook.